So right now we got Larry Kudlow um, talking about the economy and also the shutdown and how it's affected the economy. Uh, so we're gonna get right into it in a second. So you guys haven't heard, the government is back on due to a 220 to 209 vote in the House of Representatives. I'm glad because now I have family members that can go back to work. But I wanted to go over this video because it really highlights, you know, uh, just the behavior of the Democratic Party and what they were willing to do to hurt the American people. So, without further ado.
Business, fresh off Fox Business. Glad you're here, Larry.
It's hard to know which is more stupid. The economics of it, which if you continued the shutdown would loom larger, or the politics of it. So they're going to damage themselves even more than they've already done. It's not just Chuck Schumer whose career is over. A lot of their careers may be over if they keep the shutdown going in the House. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's just utterly pointless, stupid, damaging Trump derangement syndrome.
And he's absolutely right about that. So Democrats decided to have the government shut down because they wanted to fight so hard for the renewal of the Obama subsidies. Now, I understand that you want to renew health care. That's something you negotiate. Democrats decided not to do that. So they decided to have a shutdown. And due to the shutdown, you had your air traffic controllers missing money. You also had SNAP benefits that were suspended, even though people want to blame Donald Trump. It was really the Democrats, because the Republicans were very transparent. They voted on the same CR bill 14 to 15 times to reopen the government. But Democrats didn't want to do it because they wanted to try to get leverage. And they have no leverage. They haven't had leverage since Trump came into office. That's why they've been running around like their heads have been cut off. I mean, in order to, strike deals, you have to try to negotiate. Bipartisanship is needed. It is a government. I mean, I thought we were under a democracy, but I could be wrong because now the Democratic Party has gone full left, towards socialism. And that doesn't work anywhere last time I checked. But, Kudlow is right, man. I mean, it's all Trump derangement. I think it's all playing out since he's been in office. And it's only been about 10 months. I mean, nothing has really kicked in yet. You got to really wait about a year, year and a half to 2 years for people to see the differences. Prices are up in some things, such as meat, but prices are down in gas, eggs, and other groceries and other things. But it just shows, the impatience, of, the American people, and rightfully so. We've been through 4 years of Bidenomics and inflation, where it was advocated for. And now Trump has been handed this country, hell in a handbasket, and he's trying to make the best of it. And I think, people just need to understand that things do take time. I mean, we could even compare this to basketball. You look at Kobe Bryant, where he airballed, those 2 3-pointers against Utah, but he got better. It took him time to get better. Same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got, he didn't make his high school basketball team, but went to University of North Carolina. He won 2 national championships there, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 1. I don't know. But he was a winner. But these things take time. In this microwave society, we really can't expect things like, to come to us as quick as they can. They take time.
That's what you're. This was never about health care. Never about health care. This was about Trump derangement syndrome and Trump's booming economy, Sandra. Speaking to an ex-commodity ace, 48,325. Now, that number may have changed because that was from the last show. You know what that is? That's the Dow. Do you know what else
Let's
it is?
pop it up. It's at a record high.
It's a record high.
So what does that mean, though?
So the Dow has been on, a rampage for the past like 5 to 6 months, if you've carefully been looking at it. Remember, in the beginning of Trump's presidency, where the stock market was up and down and very volatile, it's kind of even out now due to the tariffs and also some of the policies that are about to kick in. Um, Now, even during a shutdown, and this is the best thing about Trump because, even during a shutdown, he's still having the stock market go up. If rates were lowered even more, I think the stock market would go a little higher. Now, of course, lowering the rates could cause inflation, but I really doubt it because, inflation's staying at, I think, 2.5%. As of right now, don't quote me on it, but it's around there because there are prices dropping in certain things. But, this goes to show that Donald Trump knows what he's doing. I mean, he's a businessman. Part of the deal. He's getting money into the country by investments from other countries and other countries' companies. And so when you look at that, and when you look at the fact that more jobs are about to open up, I mean, this is going to be a booming economy pretty soon. People just need to be patient. We're still in the Biden era, unfortunately. And, when you look at it, you look at how bad that Biden era was. I mean, yeah, we're coming out of COVID and, things of that nature, but inflation was tacked on us right away after not being able to work, for a full 6 to 8 months, sometimes a year. And that just compounded. So when you have those two things, inflation and the pandemic, you know, that was almost a recession we kind of dodged. I mean, most recessions can last between like 5 and 10 years, but we have the right man in office to turn it around because our economy was shot in 2024. Um, I know that inflation was astronomically high, and for no reason because of Joe Biden. I don't want to hear because of the stimulus checks and things of that nature. We paid for that the first year of inflation. Like, come on, we paid for that the first year. I don't want to hear anything about that. Uh, when things are taxed like 10 to 15% higher at one point. I mean, come on, and you do that for a full year, you're pulling in trillions of dollars from the American people. But they don't want to address that. But anyways,
what does that mean for the economy, people say?
It is fabulous.
Okay,
135 million some odd people in the market through brokerage accounts, 401ks, IRAs, even union pension funds. Notice, by the way, the Democratic unions were against the shutdown. Okay, how's that? That's the guts of the Democratic Party.
So what's the market cheering on right now?
So the market is telling you that there is an economic boom brewing. Profits are
But that's not the
soaring.
messaging right now. The messaging that you're hearing in the mainstream media is that Trump said he'd bring prices down, and prices are not down across the board. To those critics, you say,
Prices aren't doing.
yeah, prices aren't down across the board, but they're not bad. Like I said, he's only been in office 10 months. You have to wait till his policies from the big, beautiful bill kick in, where he's going to give, American citizens some of the hugest tax breaks in American history. Um, and also, you got to wait till the job market really opens up because it's not the fact that people aren't doing their jobs. It's the fact that, there's some jobs that aren't advantageous. You got to let AI open up. You got to let some of these companies like actually continue to build their factories and start employing people. I mean, a lot of stuff just has to continue to happen. And, I understand the frustration of the American people. I mean, yeah, I'm frustrated too, but I also look at, the end of the spectrum and I see that, our economy is going to be very prominent to where people are going to start making money. This same thing happened in 2016. Like when he was in office, things kicked in about a year and a half later. Then people started making money. Then people were starting to make deals and do the things that they need to do in order to keep their money. And yeah, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. But I think it's also going to be 10x because it seems to me that Trump is going at this a very different way. Like, forget all the politics. Like, let's look at the business side of it. I mean, he pulled in trillions of dollars in the Middle East, and he's making deals with other countries. And also, too, people think that, deals can happen overnight. No, some deals take years. Some deals take months. It just really depends on the people, you know? And of course, like things have to get ironed out. So it's not as though, you know, oh yeah, Trump made a deal and it's going to happen instantly. No, the contracts have to be ironed out. Some of the boundaries have to be ironed out. What you can and cannot do, what you can sell and what you cannot sell, what percentages are going to be taken from each profit, depending on the type of business you want to do. So you have to really wait for those factors to weigh in before like you see any type of any type of uh, pretty much any type of result from the deals made with other countries. People are like, oh, tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Well, you really got to wait till the tariffs kick in. I mean, like I said, it's only been 10 months, 9 to 10 months. It hasn't even been a full year yet.
Doing bad. I mean, listen, did we forget prices went up 20% under Biden, and real wages declined by about $4,000 or $5,000 under Biden. Okay, that was the Biden economy. Okay, Trump's been in office what, 9 months, 10 months now? So take a look. The stock market is booming. The inflation rate under Trump was 2.5% annually on the CPI. Okay,
which is half what it was under Biden.
Yes, more. And Biden's was averaging about 5.5%. That's right. True. And we hit 9%. No such thing is happening. Gasoline prices. I mean, Trump is right about this. There's a 2 handle on over half the country. I'm not saying $2 a gallon, but $2.50, $2.75. Take a look at the AA map. Put your cursor on it, and you'll see exactly how many states are experiencing $2 plus gasoline, not even $3 anymore. All this. Look, all this is an attack on the Trump boom. The stock market is telling you that there is a boom going on. Okay. People ignore the stock market in politics. I understand that, but the reality is, all these people, their 401ks are exploding upwards.
But it feels like the popular thing right now is to talk about whether or not this boom is about to bust.
Popular thing?
What?
Of course it is. Of course it is, because, that's another talking point by the left liberal media that constantly, denounce Trump. It's been funny because ever since he's been in office, there's been so much negative media on him with MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, and the list goes on. I mean, they just really do not like this guy. And, it's just been a full-on attack. But, with President Trump, what he's doing, he actually uses the media, against against the left liberal media. It's pretty funny. I just wish, he would go back to, content creators, because content creators really helped his election cycle. I mean, not his election cycle, his campaign. Um, especially last year, before this time, maybe this summer, where he went on like Joe Rogan, Aiden Ross, and other podcasts as well. And that tremendously helped him because he was able to reach the young demographic who went out and voted. I think he should go back to that, simply because, I understand he's not up for a third term. He can't serve a third term constitutionally. But, the administration, you have J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and others that could really run. Like, prime example, Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. I think he's going to win, but he's also in that tree as well. So what they can do is they can have a trickle down effect to where they could run things for the next, 15 to 20 years if they really put their mind to it. And it's just nothing but, untapped potential, that will soon be fulfilled. But let me know what you guys think. This is Blackwing Opinion. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.